Welcome back to Alchemy of the Dark Feminine. Today in this conversation, we're going to go for it. So get ready, get prepared, trigger warning, go get your journal or a piece of paper and get ready to hold space for yourself, okay? And I'm going to do the best that I can to be this container and hold this space for all of you, for everybody that this episode reached in particular. So let's get started. Let's just go straight into it. So as I'm navigating my own sex life, I realized that even after doing 2+ years of energy healing on myself to clear the sexual trauma that I went through in childhood, and why is it that I'm still getting re-triggered in the bedroom? Even after all of this healing, okay? Even after becoming conscious of the abuse taking place in the first place, using my creative energy healing techniques and all the things, right? Like there was something missing. And I figured it out. I finally figured that out today. So this is the current research that I've done so far to pinpoint why it is that we keep getting re-triggered in the bedroom. So I'm just going to read through what I have in my journal here. So sexual trauma gets stored in several areas of the brain, including the amygdala, which is our emotional center, our hippocampus, which is our memory center, the prefrontal cortex, which is where cognitive processing takes place, the insula, which is responsible for bodily sensations. We're going to dive deeper into that aspect of the brain. And also it becomes embedded in the nervous system through somatic memory. So with this integration of the brain and body memory, trauma survivors like myself and possibly you experience the effects of the trauma on both a physical and mental level, even if you don't or can't recall the event entirely. Okay, like that was happening for me. I still have a few blocked memories left, but my body, my nervous system, everything about my mind and my body like remembered it. My amygdala remembered it. I had a panic attack stored in my amygdala from my abuse. Like it was crazy. And so anyway, I had this channeled message come through, which I heard from my higher self. You can remove brain memory the same way you remove body memory. And for those of you who have never seen any of my YouTube videos and any of my energy healing videos, definitely go give those a listen. They're free to watch. And I walk you through how to clear your body memory. But anyways, with the brain memory, that's something I discovered today. And then utilizing my creative energy healing techniques, I had the idea to go through and channel those different regions of the brain from this research. And I channeled that I had to do some healing inside of my insula and my autonomic nervous system. Specifically within my insula was 2 energetic trauma layers that were ready to go, and the brain memory, which are still blocked memories from that incident happening. But I did channel that it was the blocked memories of the end of the event, like the end of the abuse, like what happened afterwards. And then for my autonomic nervous system, I found more blocked memories there. And I actually, when I was removing the brain memory from my autonomic nervous system, I started having my memories come straight back. Like it was really crazy. So that was really intense. And if this is something that piques your interest, if you're really interested in healing from your sexual abuse that you may have went through in childhood as well, like me, then feel free to reach out. I do have limited sessions and limited availability through the week. And I'm going to post my Calendly link where you can book a private one-on-one session with me. My sessions are known as the Sacred Alchemy Sessions. They are massively transformative, and they are also designed to really embark on a deep transformative journey within your soul. So if that is speaking to you, if you are getting full body chills and goosebumps, definitely listen and follow that inner compass. So moving forward, then I asked the question, I said, so why am I still getting triggered? Okay, trigger warning. I wrote down fingering reawakening trauma memories. The physical trigger is stored in my brain. So then I wrote down, how do I clear this out of my brain? So then I wrote down these areas, quote unquote, hold the sensory, emotional, and physiological aspects of the trauma. And when triggered, they can activate the body's stress response, making you feel as though you were going through the experience again. And so then I was actually doing my research through ChatGPT. I love working with ChatGPT. But anyways, the key brain regions that are involved there was 8 different major ones that are involved. So number 1, the amygdala. 2, the hippocampus. 3, the insula. And I'm going to go into depth with that in just a minute. The prefrontal cortex, the basal ganglia, the somatosensory cortex, the cingulate cortex, and the autonomic nervous system. So I really want to go over the insula's role and its main responsibility. So the insula is where our body sensations and our emotions are connected. So the insula is responsible for processing internal bodily sensations and linking them to emotional experiences. It's involved in somatic memory and can, quote unquote, hold sensory experiences related to the trauma, like physical pain, tightness, or tension, long after the abuse or the trauma has passed. So, when you experience a physical trigger, the insula can activate these body memories, causing you to feel physical sensations linked to the trauma. This somatic memory can make you feel like you're re-experiencing the trauma physically, even if you don't consciously remember it. So that's like super deep to me. And so then I was prompted to do some more research, and I wanted to learn more about the insula part of the brain. And I learned that there is an anterior insula and there's a posterior insula. And so then I researched. Actually, no, I channeled this first. I said, okay, higher self, okay, energy, where is this physical trigger stored? Is it an overall in my insula, or is it specifically in the anterior insula, or is it specifically in the posterior insula? And then I got my answer. Specifically, physical trigger is stored in my anterior insula. The anterior insula stores emotional and sensory experiences, including physical triggers related to trauma, by integrating bodily sensations with emotional responses. Okay, so then I wrote down physical triggers stored in these areas can cause the body to re-experience the sensations of trauma, activating the ANS, the autonomic nervous system, and making it feel as though the trauma is occurring in the present moment, right? Like that re-experience of that trigger. Okay, so then I did some energy healing on myself, and I went inside my anterior insula. And all I did was I set the intention to remove the original physical trigger from my sexual abuse at 6 years old. And then I sent it back to source for healing, and I called back healing energies, pure unconditional love, healing golden light, newer and truer energies that serve my highest contracts. Okay. And then I got the channeled message that it's going to take 4 days to fully integrate. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on my dreams and see what happens within my subconscious, how my subconscious processes this out. But as for the remaining part of my energy healing, I do still need to, well, actually, I have the choice of unblocking those last memories in my insula, but I did channel that it's not necessarily like 100% necessary, but I still want to do it just to be thorough. Anyways, so I just thought that was really interesting, and I wanted to bring up this conversation of why is it that you can go to therapy and also dabble in unconventional methods such as my unique creative energy healing techniques, and there's still something deeper that was missing, quote unquote, and yeah, how to tackle this abuse and this trauma once and for all so that you can be sexually free. Okay, so that you can be sexually free with yourself, sexually free in your relationships. And this also will directly impact your finances as well. This will actually improve your financial health because sexual abuse will actually, it's a certain entanglement. It entangles your relationships, the way you love, the way you perceive reality, and your financial health. So it goes very deep. It goes very deep into your energy. And I'm very dedicated to removing all of the trauma, removing the memories, or at least removing the emotional trauma and unresolved pain and wounds affiliated with those memories. So that way you can actually experience sexual freedom. And freedom is my ultimate goal. Like, that is my ultimate dream reality. So, and I wish that for all of you as well. So, yeah, anyways, that is all I had to share with you guys today for our midweek Wednesday deep dive, and how we can use that dark feminine energy to alchemize this pain and transform it into sexual freedom. Okay. And yeah, that you guys are so resilient, and there is truly no energy more powerful than you. If you guys are curious about my own personal story and my own sexual trauma story, as well as what I went through growing up in a narcissistic family system, how I made it out, and how I started tapping into my first level of total freedom, check out my book on Amazon. There is no energy more powerful than you. I was inspired to write this book to save potential lives for people who have suicidal tendencies, who are going through it, who have no support whatsoever around them, and their families are literally a piece of shit like mine was. And yeah, this book is literally meant to inspire you. It's meant to anchor you, and it's meant to show you that I am a living embodiment, that there truly is no amount of energy more powerful than you. If I can overcome this, so can you. Okay? And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for being here. And stay tuned for my next deep dive of the dark feminine and alchemy.